Alrighty, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back again to Naijafoottv, where we talk about the Super Eagles and everything in between. But Arsenal Football Club, how can I not talk about Arsenal Football Club? How can I not react to what happened yesterday? Of course, great victory from Arsenal Football Club yesterday, and it was a shocker to me because I didn't think Arsenal would get that kind of result from Real Madrid. Yes, they were playing at home fans and things like that. They wanted to make a statement, but I mean that victory was really massive. 3-0 against the Real Madrid side, who are like the landlords of the UEFA Champions League. It's unthinkable. No one can tell me that they saw that coming. And there've been a lot of reactions, going down. That I will not talk about this too much because that's not what I want to talk about. I have a lot of interesting stories concerning our players, to let you guys know right here. But, of course, we have a legend here who played for the club during the Invincible season, Kanu Papilo. He obviously enjoyed that victory. He was out in a pub watching the game, enjoying with friends, and then it was all smiles. Yeah, Arsenal was winning, Declan Rice calling every free kick into the back of the net. It was just so fantastic. I mean, even the Bad Belle fans cannot tell me that it wasn't a good match to watch. It was a match that you can enjoy, even if you're not an Arsenal fan, like me, for example. So it was a really good one. They still have a mountain to climb. Not really a mountain to climb because they have a big advantage because of the goal margin, but they are still going to have to stay focused, go to the home of Real Madrid and try to get at least a draw in the home of Real Madrid, and then focus on finishing off the Champions League because we have other strong clubs. Barcelona is still in the league, so it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal to make history, by winning their first UEFA Champions League. But it's possible, and I mean they have the momentum right now after this result. So obviously it's something that they can do if they keep on this momentum, stay humble, and focus on the task, the target, ahead. But let's talk about what's happening right now with the Super Eagles of Nigerian team. Of course, the introductory video, AINA, making a video of he and his players, in the dressing room. Of course, he always makes video, even if he has, one leg and one arm and the others are damaged. He's always going to find somehow, somewhere to hold the camera up and make a video, and that's why we love him. That's part of why we love him. Why we love him is that he's a very good player, rock solid defender, who's the best right back in the EPL this season so far. But anyways, based on that video that we saw, AINA is recovering really well, and of course, Taiwo Awoniyi is also injured because the coach of the Nottingham Forest side came out recently to talk about Awoniyi sustaining some sort of injury. I think it's partially knee injury or thigh. I think knee or thigh, somewhere around that region. But the good news is it's probably not going to take as much as we are thinking. It's not going to be a very lengthy time off the field. So these guys look to to recover in a few weeks time. Obviously, more of this is going to be coming out about them, so make sure you stay logged into the channel. And then we have this really huge advice right now coming from a certain Super Eagles legend. This man is such a big legend, such an idol for a lot of players. Obafemi Martins, he has now come out to advise Samuel Chukwueze on the current situation going on, with his career right now. Of course, Chukwueze is having a really difficult time, and we saw that in play when he came to represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria the last time. He didn't really play anything, and it's not something that just came out of the blues. It actually was based on his form. He wasn't in form before he played that game. And what has caused this situation? Why is he not in form? It's strictly because he doesn't play games for AC Milan, and he very rarely play games for AC Milan. In the last couple of weeks, he's only managed to play a few minutes here and there. I think the last time he only played 8 minutes. Sometimes he would come in the injury time. Sometimes he would not even be used at all. And this has obviously affected his career right now. But Obafemi Martins, as as someone who has seen it all, who has gone, you know, across the continent, across the world playing football, uh, has now told Samuel Chukwueze to consider other options. In fact, he's categorically telling Samuel Chukwueze that, see, boy, if you have options in Saudi Arabia and you think the project is good, you feel that, okay, you're going to develop when you move to that club, you know, if you check all of this aspect, if it's right, if it feels right, then make the move. You know, make the move. Don't worry about what people are saying that Saudi Arabia is not uh, it's not a it's not a growth, or it's not a progression, you know, in terms of uh, the player wanting to develop. He's saying that you shouldn't listen to these people because you have to be in a club or a place where you're playing consistently, because that's how you that's how you stay in form. When you play consistently, that's how you stay in form, and it also helps you when you come to the national team. In fact, before you even come to the national team, staying consistent and being in form, delivering every week is what gets you the call up to the national team. So if you don't get consistent playing time, then you will not even get the call up in the first place. This is what Obafemi Martins is telling Samuel Chukwueze right now. But as usual, I'm going to read it out so you guys can hear it from the man in his own words. He said the Saudi Pro League is becoming increasingly competitive. If a good offer comes along, why not? The main thing is for him to play and become a regular starter again. Rhythm and confidence are essential for him. His decline in form at club level is reflected in his performances, with the Super Eagles. He absolutely must regain his rhythm if he wants to continue to be a driving force for Nigeria. A transfer is a necessity if he wants to retain his place and perform well in the national team. So this is the candid advice from Obafemi Martins to Samuel Chukwueze. What do you think, guys? Do you think it's a good idea for Samuel Chukwueze to go to Saudi Arabia League in search of playing time? Because if he makes that move, of course, a lot of people are still going to criticize him and say that, hey, he has made the move because of money. You know, he wants to go and cash out. He's not really motivated by growth or development, you know, in terms of his career, but he wants to go make money. So what would you advise Samuel Chukwueze if you had the opportunity to do so?